I welcome you all with my love and respects. इस समय हमारे साथ उपस्थित सभी दर्शकों और भक्तों का मैं प्रेम एवं आशीर्वाद सहित स्वागत करता हूँ. Elmo to Nitya Satsang. Today, Mahadeva is gracing us as a bangle vendor. Valayal Vitsalilai, as a bangle vendor, is gracing us. If he sells the bangle, who will not want to buy? This bangle vendor is a very tricky job. I'll tell you the story of Leela, then you'll understand. Shiva once went to Tarugavana. Tarugavana is one of the oldest religious universities. Those rishis, professors, they became very egoistic, thinking that their knowledge is the ultimate, nothing more is there. So Mahadeva went as a beggar, Bhikshadana. Seeing his grace and beauty, all the rishi patnis have started going behind him. And all these rishis lost completely their face, and the manly ego completely got destroyed. The manly ego completely got destroyed, and the women, they ran behind Mahadeva such a way, melting in his love and unable to tolerate the distance between him and them. The story says even they literally, physically, they started losing weight, and all the bangles dropped from their hands. And the meghala, the hip belt, dropped because they started becoming so lean, missing Mahadeva. So seeing this, all rishis got very angry and declared all their wives have lost chastity. And he cursed them, and the rishis cursed their wives, saying that you guys will be born in the merchant community in Madurai. And Rishi Patni said, all right, you do what you want, we will ask Mahadeva for remedy. Mahadeva says, all right, ask the same fellows who gave the curse. And Mahadeva revealed his identity and ordered the Tarugavana rishis to give the remedy. The rishis said, all right, and Shiva himself will come and put the bangles again for you guys. Then you will be liberated from the curse and come back. So Mahadeva comes down as a bangle vendor, and in the name of selling bangles and seeing the size, he puts the bangle for all those rishi patnis who have come down due to the curse of the rishis. Sundareshwara releases them from the curse. So, by the touch of Mahadeva, all those women, rishi patnis, got liberated and went back to their original space. This is the 32nd Leela of Mahadeva in that 64. What all he has to do to liberate people. He has to even sell energy beads to liberate people. Sometimes people call him businessman. That is okay. He has to do what he has to do, for which he has to do. Let's move to the next segment of the morning satsang. Today's subject for Nitya Satsang, I'll expand on some of the basic principles of mamakara, ahankara, anyakara, and Through this, I'll expand the subject stability. Because I gave a word yesterday, I'll speak on stability. Please understand, now I am talking very important subject and very sensitive subject. So I request you to move to the space of listening. Move to the space of listening. Why the Indian civilization is still alive even after thousands and thousands of years? Why the other civilizations like Greek, Egypt have died, and many other civilizations, African civilizations, they die and get created again? All of you need to know, non-controversially, this one truth is accepted by all historians. Indian civilization is the oldest civilization. No doubt about it. To create oldest civilization, to discover so many new things and offer it to society, something takes. What is that it takes? Listen. What is that it takes? Not because I am born and brought up in India. I am telling you the straightforward, simple facts. When British invaded India, India was the world's richest country. I can give you the list and list, tons and tons of material. Till 287 years before, Tanjavur temple was the tallest building in the world. Understand? For almost 703 years, unbroken record. Even now, that is the tallest granite building in the world. Understand? Tallest granite building, completely built out of granite. Largest granite building even now in the world is Tanjore temple, which is built when there was no machineries, literally hand carved. On the whole structure, every inch, the hands of the artisans have played. They use the tools which can be held by hands. No large size machineries, no automated tools, no MNC machineries. I was planning, somehow I wanted to build like that one granite tower. No, don't clap. Don't clap. I wanted to build. But the Sthabadis have finally given, it will take 1,200 crore to build now with all the machineries, and they are saying at least 15 years they want. Now there are machineries which will bring exact, complete, final shape itself. You don't need to put your hand at all on the stone. They will cut from the hill. The machines themselves will give the finishing touch, and the machineries will assemble it. We have machineries to do that huge work. But even with all that, they say nothing less than a decade, means nothing less than 10 years. And Rajaraja completed the whole thing 2 days less than 5 years. Just 2 days less than 5 years, understand? The day they started breaking the stone, it's called Vastu Puja. And the day the Kumbhabhishekam, inauguration was done, 2 days less than 5 years. No missionaries. It is not that easy to make elephants work. Understand? Because they don't get salary. First of all, even if you give salary, it is difficult to make Indians work. And it is impossible to make Indian elephants work. It's not a joke. How? How such massive things are possible? And you need to know, Rajaraja's one tower is not over. Immediately his son builds another one tower exactly like that, just to respect father, just few feet smaller. He says, I can cross my father's tower height, but I should not do. Just a respect. How so much can be done? And I tell you, still that carving, making deities, idols, that art, with so much of physical work without machineries. Maybe in next few days I'll give a tour to all you guys about our Sacred Art City. You can go and see. Everything is hand carved. How is it possible? Why will people do with so much of labor? How this civilization is able to do this? What you are seeing is a Tanjore temple, the world's largest granite building even now. World's largest granite structure even now. World's largest granite structure. There is a documentary in YouTube by BBC, Last Temples of India. I sincerely recommend all of you to watch that watch that YouTube. How is it possible? You should know one more thing. If you go to any village in Tamil Nadu, you will see a temple at least half of this size. How is it possible? I can give you at least 1,000 human settlements in India, which is 3,000 years old. At least 1,000 human settlement, which is 3,000 years unbroken, like Madurai, Tanjore. 3,000 years unbroken human habitat. At least 1,000 I can give you. Jagannath, Haridwar. In India, at least 1,000. 1,000 human habitats, which is 3,000 year old. How is it possible? Everything boils down to one truth: stability. Please understand. Western civilization, in the name of freedom, destroyed one of the greatest possibility for human beings: stability. in Hinduism, if your father is a painter, you have to be painter. If your father is an artist, carves the stone, you have to do that. If your father makes pots, you have to do it. Please listen, don't judge with your Western infected mind. It is so sad, even Indians have started believing you need to do your father's profession is a bondage. No. Freedom is, the real freedom is freedom from unstable mind. By teaching the wrong idea of freedom, they destroyed in all the fields we are specialized. How is it possible a 14-year-old boy can repeat 2 lakh verses? In India it was possible. Just before we were invaded by the British fanatics, every village will have a Vedic school where 14-year-old child will recite at least 1 Veda, 2 Veda, which is like a 2 lakh verse, 3 lakh verse. Because the specialization, understand, the specialization, the moment you are born in a Brahmin family, the child knows till death you are going to be doing only this, better let us specialize now than later. In a carpenter family, when a child is born, it knows whole life we are going to be working with wood, better let us specialize now than later. All the artists whom I have, all of them, of course, now they are 30, 40, all of them have learnt the art from their parents from the age of 3 or 4. They started playing with the tools of their father, their parents. See, before 14 only, you make the right mamakara, right ahankara, right anyakara, right swa anyakara, all that. No, the specialization is destroyed. When the stability is removed, in every field, we had so much of specialization. See, in the modern day, Western, especially American civilization, nowhere you can bind people to be stable. You see, only in a stable stone you can carve the carvings which will be available for, which will be alive for eternity. Anything which gives way, which is not stable, whatever you make in it will not be long, will not be alive forever. Anything, you see, mud gives way, but anything you make out of mud will not be there more than few hundred years. Anything which is stable on that what you carve only will be alive forever. In Vedic tradition, in Indo tradition, we learnt the process, method of how to keep human beings stable and carve the best things out of them. our community system made human beings like rock. The moment you are born in a Brahmin family, you know your whole life, this is what is going to be you are doing. So better learn all the 4 Vedas as early as possible. So that stability made geniuses happen. Same way, if you are born in a Stapati family, Stapati means an architect, traditional architect, they know till death you are going to be doing this, better learn it as early as possible. Concepts of freedom made human beings like a mud. Out of mud you cannot make anything permanent, anything eternal, anything great. The times of Vedic tradition, once somebody enters the monastery, he knows this is his life till end. Better live it. If you go out, you don't have life. Then the stable, great masters are created. But now all you guys have too much of freedom, the pseudo freedom. So every once in 2 days you plan, do I have that choice, that choice, that choice? That is why even the married life lost stability. In the modern civilization, there is no more pati and patni. It is boyfriend, girlfriend. Married boyfriend, married girlfriend, or unmarried boyfriend, unmarried girlfriend. That's all. Because if you shout little loud, that's it. Over. Husband and wife both are always keeping one leg outside the house. I tell you, it is because of the instability in the family system we lost even the science of Tantra. We lost the science of love. The instability brought in the name of freedom destroyed Indian civilization, Vedic civilization. Because anything in Vedic civilization, the first prerequisite is stability. Because we are so rich, to specialize anything you need dedication of the whole life. If you want to study Nyaya, you have to be committed to it for whole life. You have to if you want to study Vedanta, you have to commit to it for a whole life. And there are some knowledge you can't even learn by committing to one life. Only if the generations commit, the 4th generation will master the skill. See, the knowledge of Siddha tradition, if the generations commit, only by 4th or 5th generation becomes a perfect doctor. How many of you cognize what I am saying? So, anything in Indian civilization, the way we cook, the way we eat, the way we clothe, the way we take medicines, our healing system, our worship method, our lifestyle philosophy, our art and architecture. For example, somebody joins the ashram. Only if he is stable, I can transmit all these great mystery sciences. See, the day my master, my mentor, Raghupati Yogi adopted me, he built a very clear, conscious inner image for me, outer image for me, my image about life. So now I know till death, this is my life. So because of that stability, he was able to transmit so much of spiritual knowledge. Please understand, I am the fulfillment of fantasy of my many predecessors. I am the result of many of my predecessors' hard work. I am the perfection of many of my predecessors' hard work. Raghupati Yogi is, I think, maybe 7th or 8th generation from the yogic traditions, yogic masters, the Nathapandi. It is called Nathapandi, the Natha Sampradaya, where they will make a big hole on the ear. And he wanted to make for me. Somehow I escaped. It's called Nathapandis. Of course, finally he did not leave me. He made a small hole here. The Nathapandis who went to Burma. Of course, those days Burma was part of India. When Burma got separated from India, my mentor, Raghupati Yogi, came back from Burma and settled down in South India. Burma and South India had a very close connection. Tibet and South India had a very close connection, like Bhatmasambhava, Bodhidharma. All of them are from South, went to Burma, Tibet and all those areas. In Bodhidharma's time there are clear mention, clear recorded history. The perfection. See, because I gave that stability feeling to him, he was able to transmit the whole knowledge. And I am so happy. My parents were so strong, never allowed me the so-called pseudo-freedom. I feel, please understand, I feel so bad when I see some of my Gurukul kids' parents allow the so-called freedom of the kid and take their kid away. I feel, oh God, I am so grateful to my parents who did not do that. It is not that I did not come back to my mom and dad and complain about the torturous training I have to go through with both my mentors. It's not that I was that stable with Raghupati Yogi or Kuppammal. But I tell you, my mother will just have a deaf ears whenever I say anything about them. My father will not listen. And he will say, hey Swami, today you will complain about them, tomorrow you will only be going and sitting with them. I am not coming in the drama. Actually, parents should be little insensitive. You should not be too possessive and sensitive about the whims and fancies of your kids. How can kids have right whims and fancies? You need to spend little time even for them to get the right whims and fantasies. Till then, you need to leave them to settle down with stability. I tell you, the Indian laws now, present laws are dead against stability because the pseudo freedom idea was put inside us. I tell you, biggest crime the British fellows did to us is injecting that pseudo freedom idea into us and saying, if your father is carpenter, you don't need to be a slave and learning the same carpentry. You can go and clean the bathroom in UK. And you can go to Dubai and clean the shit of the camel. Richest country in the world, why do you guys need to go to other countries for job? First, eating the shit of wrong ideas given by them. First of all, the idea of economic growth by them is wrong. No, really. Actually, I am already working. By the end of this year, I will be launching. I am going to create, just like ISI mark, the Hindu Dharma recognition mark to the companies which live the principles, the basic principles of Hindu Dharma. I am going to recognize. I will build this brand. Let dollar not be the parking place of our hard work. Your parking place is wrong. We always think dollar is the most stable place where we can park our hard work or what we swindled. Even the Indian politicians who are supposed to be responsible for the stability of the rupee, even they keep all the money they swindled from through the rupee in dollar. Please understand. The politicians who are responsible for the stability of the rupee swindle the rupee and store it in dollar. Then even if they don't trust rupee, how is the rupee going to gain the respect of stability? Wrong parking places, wrong concepts, and Indians need only one thing: get back to our stability lifestyle given by our community system, that our country suppressed certain section of humanity. I tell you, no, it was not as it is getting projected now. The exemption incidents are compiled and the documentaries are made as a history of India. In India, the so-called suppressed community was treated much better than blacks were treated in America or Europe. There was never massacre of Dalits in India. And Ambedkar is not the first guy to talk about Dalit freedom. There were millions. Why? Buddha was completely against Brahmins. We worship him, listen to him, because what he was saying making sense. Somewhere one or two ego clashes is shown as if suppression of one part of the civilization. In that name, the whole community system is destroyed and the stability of the society is lost. What Krishna says in Gita, when the communities get mixed, the civilization is lost. I stand by Krishna's words. I'll work to bring the stability of community system. When a boy is born in Kshatriya family, he should know politics is going to be his life. He has to learn that science from the age of 3. When a boy is born in a Brahmin family, he should know this spiritual knowledge, learning and spreading is going to be his life. Better he start learning the spiritual lifestyle philosophies from the age of 3. He is not going to be respected as a doctor or engineer and that idiotic software engineers and all the Brahmin software engineers. You fellows are responsible for all the degradation we are suffering. You should have stood like your elders. Your elders were not rich. Your ancestors lived with one-piece dress, one meal a day, but they stood with their temples. They stood with their teaching. They stood with their preaching. The stability, hats off to the stability of Dalits, Brahmins, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas of Vedic tradition. Hats off to the stability. I know I cannot finish the subject of stability in one satsang. It is my heart I am opening. And I will continue in the next satsangs. I will be strongly promoting the community system, even though I am not a Brahmin. I wanted you to know. I know I am talking in a national channel. I want these ideas to be internalized. This pseudo Dalit suppression idea which is created by politicians for political mileage, for vote bank politics, please don't believe. Oh, mainstream media, leave us to live our life. Get out of our country. Give us our country back, our peace back. I'll continue on the stability tomorrow also. Today, I'll move to Nirahara Samyama. After this Nirahara Samyama Kriya today, please break your fast. Tomorrow morning, eat and come for satsang. You can eat all the 3 meals today. Tomorrow morning also, have your breakfast and come to satsang. Because from tomorrow, you will be continuing 7 days the samyama. आज क्रिया के बाद पूरा दिन आप 3 पर खाना खा सकते हैं. कल सत्संग आने के पूर्व खा के आइएगा. Now let us start the Nirahara Samyama. अब हम नित्य सत्संग के अगले भाग निराहार संयमा में प्रवेश करेंगे. सीधी तरह से बैठ जाइए और चेतना स्थिति के साथ कल्पना कीजिए कि आप बिड़दी वटवृक्ष बन गए हैं और अपने दोनों नासिकाओं और मुंह के द्वारा सांस अंदर लीजिए. जितना देर सांस को रोक सकते हैं उतना देर रोक कर रखिए. जब आप सांस और नहीं रोक पाएंगे मुंह बंद रखे सांस को अपनी दोनों नासिकाओं द्वारा छोड़ दीजिए. मैं अपनी पूरे संपूर्ति श्रद्धा उत्तरदायित्व और लाभान्वित करने के 4 तत्वों के साथ आशीर्वाद देता हूं कि आप सबकी कुंडलिनी शक्ति जागृत हो जाए और अपनी जीव ऊर्जा सीधा आकाश और वायु से उत्पन्न करे. यह क्रिया 21 मिनट तक लगातार कीजिए. नाउ स्टार्ट द निराहार संयम क्रिया. फर्स्ट cognize you have become Biddi Kalpavriksha and visualize you have become Biddi Kalpavriksha and do the kriya by inhaling through the mouth and both the nostrils, holding as long as you can by closing the nostrils and mouth. When you can't hold anymore, slowly exhale through the nostrils, keeping the mouth closed. Do this kriya continuously for 21 minutes. Please start the kriya. I bless you all with my integrity and authenticity and responsibility. Let you all experience the awakening of Kundalini and produce the energy directly from space. Live health, bliss and enlightenment. Namah Shivaya. Let you all achieve, experience, live, express, radiate, share and explode in eternal bliss. Nithyananda.
Nithyananda Dhyanapitham, Nithyananda Nagar, off Mysore Road, Bidadi, Bengaluru. Phone 08027279999. www.nithyananda.org, www.youtube.com/Life Bliss Foundation.